So, welcome everyone. I don't know if you saw my post on Facebook this morning, but I feel really, really lucky right now. 2 weeks ago, I won tickets to a concert. I know, like when does that happen? But I went to a radio station's website and I signed up for all of these concert tickets and I won. And I didn't even get to go. Oh. It's okay. It's not a band I would want to go see anyway. It was Gojira. It's not that they're terrible, but it's really, really heavy. And my son really wanted to go, and he wanted to take a friend, and he was taking his girlfriend, so I had to be the chaperone and drop him off and pick him up. I'm very excited he'll get his license next month. And then over the weekend, we had this thing called Mother's Day. And I saw that Adventure Works, which is the zip lining company in town, they were doing a contest. And all you had to do was tag your mother on Instagram and they were going to pick a winner. And so I went to the Instagram account and there was only 6 people who had tagged their moms. And so I contacted Gabriel. And I'm like, Gabriel, you need to tag me and talk about how adventurous your mommy is so that we can perhaps win tickets. And I got notified this morning we won 4 tickets. So now I'm thinking maybe, I don't normally buy lottery tickets, but I'm like, maybe it's time to buy a lottery ticket and just see if I get lucky. I don't know. So if y'all play the lottery, you'll have to catch me after class and tell me what to play and what to do, because I have no idea. Because I don't normally do it. Y'all don't either. This is a Franklin bunch. Nobody needs a lottery.
I'll help you.
You'll help me? Okay. All right. So yesterday I taught class, and I was telling the last group I got completely mixed up with my weeks. For some reason, I was thinking Mother's Day was the same weekend as Memorial Day, and I know that's not ever the case, but that's where my brain is right now. It's a pile of mush. And so I had prepared a class for, anyway, doesn't matter, that class is over. But I also prepared a class for my gentle class yesterday that I'm not prepared to do today, because I wanted to use chairs for a certain amount of posing. Not all of it, just the end portion, and we don't have enough chairs. So we'll just scrap that and I'll do something different at the end. But what I want to say is there was a gentle class that I started at another studio a couple weeks ago, and the women were asking me if I could do a class based on how to get up and down from the floor. So we're going to do a couple of those today. We're not going to do it all. It's not going to be the whole focus, and you've done it with me before. So it'll just be a nice reminder, because there are moments and times where, we get on the floor and we have difficulty getting up. I've witnessed this with people, not thankfully in class, but I've witnessed it with my father. And I have witnessed it at this other studio where I'm at, where they can get up and down, but it's very difficult for them to get up and down from the floor. So regardless, it'll be a helpful tool for all of us just to kind of go over it again. I wanted to take a different direction with Mother's Day, because I know Mother's Day is not something everybody celebrates, or it's not necessarily celebratory for certain people. So I wanted to honor that fact. So I want us to sit up and do some breath work. And we're going to start off the same way that we did my last class, and then we're going to just completely change it up. So I would suggest sitting on a bolster, a blanket, a block, something to get the hips a little higher. We're going to have the right hand on the abdomen, I won't hear you, and the left hand over the hearts. And as we have the hands resting on the body, go ahead and extend your spine, close the lids of your eyes. Start taking some deep yogic breaths. as you're breathing in a deep diaphragmatic way, feel the movement under your hands. Inflation when we breathe in, deflation as we breathe out. You feel the contact and the warmth from your hands. As you're becoming the driver of your own personal breath, allow this centering, this breath work to ground you down into your body, down into your seat, even further down into your feet. Remember, at any point in time, if you need to just take pause with movement, just breathe. You're still doing yoga. Whatever we bring our conscious attention to, it can help us gain some mental focus. And that one pointed focus can lead us towards a meditative state. And it's within that meditative state that we've arrived to the state of yoga, the state of unison. Take one more deep breath. On your exhalation, you're going to lean forward and you're going to rest your hands onto the floor, slightly bowing your head and keeping your eyes closed. Our theme for today is about our shared mother. Because we all share a mother, and this is Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, who provides us support in all of our basic needs. As a good mother gives freely and provides unconditional love, Mother Earth provides the backbone to life, as a mother provides the backbone to her family. If it wasn't for your physical mom, you wouldn't be here breathing right now. But if it wasn't for the proper placement in the universe, the perfect atmosphere, and the trees that we have on this planet, we wouldn't be breathing here right now either. Mothers have a magic touch to heal our wounds. Mother Earth provides the healing herbs and medicines to heal our wounds. Your mother encourages you to climb the mountains and to shoot for your dreams, but it's Mother Earth who provides the mountains and provides the inspiration to dream. A mother's boundary wants to protect us and make us a better person, but it's Mother Earth who enforces the boundaries and equally provides protection. A mother's smile can offer comfort and joy, but it's the great Mother Earth that provides the conditions, awe, and beauty to make us smile. Now gently building your trunk back up, bringing your palms together to your heart, and then begin to crack your eyelids open. Lace your hands together and reach the palms out in front of you, not as if you're trying to pop the knuckles, because you're equally reaching through your wrists, palms, and fingers. And then inhale, lift the arms straight up overhead and feel that elongation of your spine, the space entering between each vertebra, the elongation in your waist, the openness of the side intercostals mixed in with the ribs. And then as you exhale, circle the arms around behind your back. You're going to cross your right arm under your left. And once your arms are crossed, even if you have to hold a wrist, let the shoulders be driven down away from your ears and let your sternum rise. Holding the head up initially, And then on the next out breath, bow the head, chin to the chest. Inhale, roll your head to your left shoulder. Hold a moment, continue to breathe. Stretching out to the side of the neck, the top of the shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, semicircle the head over to the right. Let it hover just above. The eyes can be open or shut. Stretching the side of the neck, the top of the shoulder. This is a place that often holds tension, especially if we slept wrong. And then gently sink the chin back towards the chest. Inhale, bring the head back up. And then exhale, bring the hands together at the heart. Good. Inhale, release the fingers. Exhale, extend your palms forward and out. Inhale, re-extend the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, lean to your left. Stay rooted on your seat. Inhale, come back to the top. Exhale, curve now to the right. Creating that crescent moon shape with the upper body. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, circle the arms behind your back, and this time the left arm is gonna cross below the right. And then let your shoulders slide down the back, let your heart center pick up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bow your head. Inhale, roll the head over to the right shoulder. Hover and hold like we did before. Now, please don't make the head too heavy. It's just leaning that direction. Sometimes too much is just simply too much. And then gently bow your head, semicircle over to the other. Pausing and breathing here. And then drop the chin back towards your chest. Inhale, lift the head back up. Yes, if you need to extend your legs, if your hips or knees are getting tired of being cross-legged, you can do that. We're gonna release the arms and we're gonna cross them into a wide X shape. And then see if your elbows can stay somewhat close together, and notice which arms cross on top. I didn't tell you which, doesn't matter. But just notice for yourself, because we'll eventually switch it to the other side. Intertwine the arms, and you're trying to bring the hands towards each other. They may or may not touch, but you may even be able to cross one hand over to the other palm. And then if your elbows are starting to drag down towards your chest, lift them up so they're more parallel to the floor. This is called Garuda arms or Garuda arms. It means eagle. One more deep breath. And now start to sink the elbows towards the chest and notice that different effect that it has. And then release. See how you crossed your arms and cross the opposite way than before. And then elbows up, arms start to intertwine. Maybe the hands are apart. Maybe they can join together. Just do the best. You're still getting benefits. Feel what's happening to the muscles that are attaching to the shoulder blades. Smooth out your breath. Affirming as you hold at the center of life's storms, I choose to remain calm and serene. And now see if you can drop the arms towards the chest. And then release them apart. Open up your palms on your lap, turn the eyelids down. just feel the upper body and what you've gained, what you've promoted, what you've received. And we're gonna open up the eyes. We're gonna come away from the bolster. Now you may need a blanket because we're gonna come into standing Vajrasana. Let me change out this music. Okay, we're gonna come to standing Vajrasana, which is on the shins, top portions of the feet. This is where you may need that extra padding. If you don't need it, you don't have to use it. We're gonna start towards the kind of backside of our mat. And look back at your feet. If your feet are turning towards each other, straighten out your feet so that the toes are pointed towards the back. It may require a little extra action from your ankles. And then hands to namaste at the heart. We're gonna do a baby sun salutation. So as you inhale, create a kneeling form of Urdhva Hastasana. Hands apart, palms face each other. And as we exhale, we're gonna do a forward fold that drips us down into child's pose. So the hands come down shoulder distance apart. You're sitting back towards your feet. You're rolling your upper arms away from your ears, spreading the upper back. Your fingertips are walking away from your knees so that your elbows pick up. You're receiving a stretch under the arms, in the pit of the arms, and draining the lymphatic tissues of the chest and bringing traction to your back. Some compression to your belly. On your next inhale, you're gonna rock forward to hands and knees. And when you rock forward to hands and knees, you're slowly going to drop your thighs and you're gonna roll down to your belly, down to your brow, and then your hands are going to slide in front of you, palms together, and reach up through the fingertips in a pose of prostration, a pose of humility and reverence. And then inhale, slide your hands to tuck under the head of the shoulder bones, squeeze the elbows in towards your side body, squeeze through the buttocks and slowly lift head, shoulders, chest, Bhujangasana Cobra. If you need Sphinx, you can drop to your forearms like this, elbows underneath the head of the shoulder bones, but you still want to get your glutes firm and you still want to keep your heart held up. So either one of those. This is a little bit more gentle because there's more support. One more deep breath. And then as we exhale, we're rolling back down after gaining that strength. And inhale, push the floor away from you with your hands and knees to back up to tabletop position, where your thighs are perpendicular to the floor, but your hands are going to continue to walk out. Your head is going to bow between the arms and you're holding puppy pose. Puppy pose is very similar to downward facing dog. You have a diagonal line from your wrists to your shoulders to your shoulders to your hips. So you're not dragging into your shoulder joints, you're not sinking your chest or head to the floor. You're hovering, your belly's hugging in. It's more muscular, more yang. And then walk the hands back towards you. Come back up, standing Vajrasana. And then exhale, hands to heart. All right, we're gonna do one more baby sunset. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, fold down into child's pose. Balasana, the active form, where again, the elbows are reaching upward away from the mat. Inhale, rock up hands and knees to tabletop position. But then exhale, we're going to roll down to the top of the thighs, to the top of the pelvis, down to the belly, chest, brow. Take your time, hands slide out in front of you, palms together. Inhale, slide the hands back underneath the shoulders, lengthen through your legs, tighten up through the buttocks, roll up. Bhujangasana, cobra sink. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Affirming I rise joyfully to greet each and every new opportunity. Yes, take Sphinx if you need it. Exhale, let's take it back down. Inhale, push up, tabletop. This is like our plank in the sun's out. Exhale, walk the hands out, but you're forming puppy pose instead of melting heart. Melting heart is similar. Melting heart is the yin form of the yeni. Here we're trying to be muscularly engaged by pressing into the mounds of the hands, by pulling up to the pit of the arms, by pulling in through the fire pit of the belly. Now walk your hands back. Inhale, concluding this with the arms reaching out and up. And the exhale, bringing the hands home to the heart. All right, from here, you can get up to stand by shifting your weight to one side, stepping the left foot forward, bringing your hands to your knee, leaning into it, putting the weight into the left foot and coming up to stand. Okay, that's one way to get up. But I want us to do that again. Cautiously come down. Because through yoga, we're trying to become more and more aware of our body. Which side is stronger? Which side do we have better balance on? So we just did one side. So lean to the left, step the right foot forward, ground that foot, lunge that knee, lean into it, use your hands for support, push into that right foot, and just see which side you have better balance and more strength. Of course, that can change. Beautiful. That's one way of getting up. Now, let's step back with the right foot. You don't have to step back very far. This is not going to be a yoga pose necessarily, but it's similar to what we do in yoga. So with the left foot in front and the right foot behind, again, not too wide of a stance. You guys look good. We're going to shift the weight onto the left foot by elevating the back heel. You got it. And then we're going to bend the knees. Okay? Simple, gentle movement. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop back to the right heel. You're still getting some exercise. Okay? Body awareness. Inhale, rock forward, lift the back heel. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, re-lift. And then exhale, push back. Good. Now, inhale, come forward again. Exhale, lunge the knees. This could be one way for you to come down to the floor. Okay? And you don't have to sit on your ankles because I know that's a lot for the knees. But it can at least get you to tabletop. You can swing feet around and come down like this. Okay? Now let's come back up to stand. Right foot in front, left foot behind. Same approach, right? And then we're judging and assessing which side's easier, which side's more effective. Rock your right hip over your right ankle, lifting the back heel, and then knees. Good. Re-lift and straighten. Push back into the left heel. All right, again. Rock forward, lunge the knees, straighten up, and sink back and ground your left foot. All right, this one we're going to see if it's possible to come forward. So coming forward, bending the knees, taking your time, and then we'll land in tabletop position. Okay, so that's a way to get down to the floor, right? So once you're on hands and knees, let's start to move back into some yoga poses. So at first, just push down through the fronts of the feet, the palms of the hands, straighten and structure your arms, and feel how your belly draws in naturally. You almost feel like you're wanting to arch the shoulders, but keep your head up because it's not cat stretch. This is the structure. If you were ever to have, say for instance, your grandchild or some toddler around you, right, wanted to come up and ride your back. Not saying you should do that, but if you're gonna do it, you needed to have a strong tabletop position, okay? As you inhale, you're gonna slowly send your tailbone back, feel the belly down. And then drive the heart through, head up, cow tilt. Now, even though we're creating a saddle effect, this would be dangerous for someone to get on your back, right? Exhale, drop the tailbone, scoop in through the belly, hide that heart away, arm up to the shoulder blades, and drop your back. All right, let's maneuver now from the low back to the mid back, to the upper back and neck. Cow tilt. Exhale, start at your low back. Eventually move and undulate up through the spine, and eventually your head will come last. All right, inhale one more. Rolling open to cow. Exhaling to cat stretch. And reform tabletop position, where you're nice and firm in the belly, also nice and firm in your back. Now step your hands a baby step beyond that point. Curl your toes under, launch into Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. All right, from your downward facing dog, press into your palms. Stretch through the spine. If anything needs to loosen up here, it could be your legs, because the legs don't have to be straight in this pose. The knees can bend, but you are pressing through the balls of the feet, and you are lifting through your sits bones regardless. Now let's walk the hands back towards the toes. Once you walk the hands back towards the feet, again, you have the option to have strong, structured legs or a loose bend in your knees. If you need to modify more than that, you can bring your elbows to the thighs and give yourself a little support where your head is slightly up. So know that that's an option. All right, so we're all gonna do that. Bend the knees, stack the elbows to the thighs, bring your hands to your thighs, and this is one way to come up, okay? So we see that with toddlers, right? We see that with toddlers, getting from a crawling position, moving into down dog, and walking the hands back towards their feet, and then standing up. But we can also do it the other way, which I know you've done it with me before, but again, it's nice to be reminded this is one way to get up and down from the floor. So hands to prayer. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Bring the palms together. Exhale, bow forward, hands down the middle until they can separate, and you lower back in Uttanasana. Shift your weight slightly toward your toes. Again, finding your proper alignment with what's available for your body today, any conditions that you need to cater to. Affirming as you hold, maybe bob the head, yes. Nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back, not even my own fears or doubts. All right, inhale, we're gonna start to bend the knees enough so that our hands can come down to the sticky mat. And we're meditationally walking on the hands, forward and out, keeping them shoulder distance. And then once we get a certain degree down the mat, we're gonna push back away from the hands. And we're gonna strike, downward facing dog again. This pose that is a blend between a forward fold and an inversion. Now we're going to travel the feet forward, because you may find Hands walking towards feet or feet walking towards hands are best for you. You can come to fingertips eventually, lifting the wrists. Now, earlier we bent the knees, we stacked, and we came up with the straight back. But there's also another way to come up besides just swinging up like the way we would normally do. So bend the knees pretty deep. And remember, cat stretch. You're gonna scoop in through your belly, scoop in through your belly, scoop in through your belly, press through your feet, and you'll slowly straighten your legs, and you'll slowly unfurl the back. You're rolling and rounding like a rag doll until you finally come up. Okay, so if I had a chair here, then just know that if you're on your knees and maybe you can't balance from one side to the other to get the foot forward, you just get to a piece of furniture, hold on to the furniture, and that can help you to come up and down. Same thing with the step. You know, stepping down, you can use the furniture to come down. Same thing coming up. All right. Now let's go ahead and rock back and forth on the feet. Once you have the feet planted, we're going to try our hand at balance. We're going to bend the right knee. We're going to open from the right hip. Yes, your foot can stay here at your ankle. In fact, let's all do that right now. Bring your thumbs and index fingers together like this. This is the Gaia mudra for wisdom. The right hand's going to go to the inside of the right thigh. The left arm's going to circle up overhead. And as you take a side bend, your right hand's going to slide down towards your knee. Doesn't have to touch your knee, but close. And this is a pose between crescent moon and tree. Inhale, draw back up. Exhale, relax the arm down, let go of the mudra. Now we're going to build this foot up a little higher. So try to bring it to your calf, or you can catch it with your hand to push into your inner thigh. Your hands can come together at your heart. Sometimes this is very centering. Sometimes it helps to expand your branches and take your arms up or wide, sun formation, your own expression. And we'll relax it down, stepping the foot down, walking it out. And we'll do the same side. So right foot anchors, left knee bends, hip turns open. We'll come back to that Gaia mudra for wisdom. Right arm reaches up, left hand slides down the inner thigh for this hybrid pose. Chandrasana meets Vrikshasana. You confirm high, calm, poised. I am calm and poised. And then inhale, let's bring it up. Exhale, relax the hands. And then you can move it up a notch to the calf or inner thigh. Remember, if you bring it to the thigh, you really have to push the two together, especially, this is a little slick, especially if you have slick material on. And then hands to heart or any type of branches. Find a place to focus your eyes. Then relax the arms and the foot. All right, walk it out. Bring your blocks beside your feet. We're going to work on a standing pose and then do a deep hip opener. So hands to prayer. Let's begin. Inhale, the arms circle wide and up overhead. And exhale, we're going to hinge forward from the hips. We're going to splay the arms out and lower them to the blocks. This will give us a little sturdiness to now step the right foot back, way back. So wider, yes. And then you're lunging the front knee. Now, if your knee goes way past your ankle, it just means you can wiggle the right foot back a little bit more, okay? So from here, I want you to slowly gather up your strength by pushing into the front foot so that you no longer need your hands and your hands can rise to frame the face. Holding this crescent lunge, finding your balance, stability, and stamina. All right, exhale, we're gonna bring the hands back down, and then we're eventually going to lower the back knee. Feel free to add in that extra padding and support. Untuck the back foot, heel toe your left foot over, and bring that left block on the inside of it, okay? Then you're welcome to stand the blocks like this, maybe on their middle height, maybe on their tall height, maybe on their lowest height, to see if you can rest on your forearms. So remember, the blocks turn three different ways. We're gonna get deep into this left hip here. Even though you may feel some opening and sensation in your right hip extensor as well. This is a form of the lizard pose. It's a more modified version because we have the back knee down. You are trying to sink down through your hips and pelvic floor. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna slowly start to build up. And you may want to build your blocks back up because we're gonna heel toe the left foot over, cross the left block to the left side of the foot again. Curl the back toes under, re-lift that back knee. Good, hop the back foot forward, set the heel down, and slowly rise to stand. Okay. Once you rise to stand, the back heels to the floor, but turn the toes in at an angle so you can try to square the hips as best you can. All right, we're gonna keep the left hand on the hip. We're gonna reach the right arm up overhead. And on the exhalation, we're gonna push the tailbone back. And we're gonna keep extending the right arm and the spine forward and out, pause about halfway. And then pressurize the feet. Inhale, slowly rock back up to stand. Good, exhale again. Hinging, tailbone back, crown of the head forward, fingertips reaching out in front. Pause. Inhale, build up. Good, last one, pyramid on this side. Reach it out. Continue to fold it down, down, down this time. Maybe you want blocks to rest your hands on. Maybe you're flexible enough to have your hands resting on the floor. Coming into your pyramid pose. Even though the pyramids are a man-made structure, they're still one of the greatest mysteries on this planet. Just gonna correct your hips here. Pull that hip back and in. There you go. And that will even out the same. All right, when you're ready, slowly start to lunge that left knee. Step the back foot forward. We're gonna take that same sequence to the other side. So left leg goes way back. Lunge into that right knee. Correct it if you need a bigger stance between the feet. But please realize we are coming up to crescent. So once you take the weight into the right foot, slowly lift the arms up overhead. This is a really big stretch for that iliopsoas, the hip extensors. If you've been sitting a lot over the weekend or traveling a lot recently, one side may be a little bit more sensitive. All right, exhale, let's slowly bring the hands down. Once the hands are down, it's safe to bring the knee down. Once you bring the knee down, untuck the back foot, add that extra support if it's not there, heel toe the foot over, block to the inside, and drop back into the pelvic floor. Yes, each side may be different. You may need the tallest blocks on one side. You might be able to flip them to a lower height on the other. Try to relax any tension away from your face, mouth, or jaw. All right, when you're ready, let's come back onto the hands, to the blocks, to a taller degree. Heel toe the right foot over, block to the opposite side of the foot. Curl the back toes, pluck up that back knee. We're gonna hop the back foot forward and down, and then slowly start to stand. If you feel imbalanced at all, it could be that the feet are too close and you need to take that left foot a little wider to the side. So once you're set up for pyramid pose and your hands are to your hips, your left arm this time can reach up. And as you exhale, start to hinge forward, reach out to the left fingertip, stretch out through the vertebrae. Only come a portion to halfway down and then inhale, come right back up. We'll do it in a set of 3. Exhale this time, same thing. Good, inhale coming up. And exhale this time. We're gonna keep going past the point where we paused. Continue, continue, continue until you discover, can my hands tap down? Or do I need to lower the blocks? Or what's available here for your personal pyramid pose? In and out through the nose. Maybe affirming, I give myself over to the flow of grace. Stack the hands, back to blocks, and then we're gonna gently bring it down to the floor. I was telling the last group, I'm all in a falls now. Usually I keep my emotions fairly in check. I mean, I cry about things, but as far as like a temperament goes, when I get moody. But we did a big project over the weekend. I'm talking the big projects at the house over the weekend. Whew. Lost it a little bit. So I love that affirmation because I could reflect back on that moment and go, I'm giving myself over to the flow of grace. I'm gonna give myself grace. It's scientifically proven when we go through menopause, we're gonna get moody, we're gonna get triggered. And you just have to keep yourself like, okay, this is not my normal self. It's okay. Feet together. Did you have to live through that?
No.
Just rock your knees up and down right now. You're in the garage a lot, though. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hinge forward. Well, that was our big project. We have this spare room upstairs that has been, it's where when I closed the studio, a lot of the props landed. And I brought a lot of the props here, but I still have a lot at home. And then we have the extra furniture that we didn't need in the other rooms. It's just a couple things that they're just sitting in there and they need to be trashed, And then the garage, after you live in your house for a few years, the garage gets piled up. That was the project. But Rob and I didn't agree on how it should be done. So there's that. All right, I'm warming up the hips because I think you're gonna need open hips for the next way to come up and down from the floor, okay? So I've done this with some of you in the past and it looks hard. It's not as hard as it looks. But it's still kind of hard. We're gonna crisscross the ankles, except the knees aren't flopping. The knees are lifted because we have to use the power of the feet, the legs, and the core. And I'm not saying you can't use your hands, but we're gonna try not to use the hands. And we're gonna reach the arms forward, push into the feet, and try to come up and across. You're like, no, it's not gonna I will say that that's a Kundalini way, and you can crisscross the feet the other way because it could be that your weaker leg was out in front. Okay,
That's easier.
so definitely. That's easier than
Bending the knee.
that's easier for you. See, this is why it's good to learn all these different ways. Because for her, this was easier. For someone else, bending the knee might have been easier, So we're gonna try to crisscross the other way. Lean forward. It doesn't have to be graceful. So sorry about that. That's another way to come up. There's another way that we're not going to do, but you can practice at home. And the reason why I don't like this one is because it takes a swirling of the feet, knees, and legs. It's just a lot to think about, but it looks like this. Where one knee's up, one leg's out. And you kind of open up this arm where the knee is up. And then you kind of swing it around, push into your hands, and then spiral up.
I always swing my legs around and push up that way.
Well, it's easier to get
It's
that.
easier,
Yeah. So you like that one?
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I do all the time.
Okay, let's try the other side. Okay, well, the reason why I thought it might be a little tricky was because of the spin, but it works. Okay, well, let's do the other side. Because again, one side may be stronger or weaker. And then take the arm out with a little momentum.
Going the other way.
That seems easier for you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that one out. I'm glad I brought it in. Okay, cool.
The funny thing about it is, when I do that, if I'm in a crowd or something, I've been sitting on the floor, and I said, I'm going, get up on all fours.
That's kind of what you do anyway.
Yeah, but once I pause, they say, oh, are you looking for some contacts or something?
You're looking for your All right, let's get one last twist in. Shake out your legs. Bend your right knee, and we're gonna open the hip here. Flex that left ankle, push down through the left thigh bone, reach the arms up, and that will help to extend the spine, so that's already done. Twist to the right, left hand to the right knee, right hand to the floor behind your back. Good, inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Turn back to face me. Lift your right knee, slide it out. Bend your left knee, open up from the hip. Flex the right foot, push down through the right thigh, and rotate to your left. Right hand to the left knee, left hand to the ground behind you. Ready, inhale, lift the arms up, rotate back to center, and relax them down. All right, we are ready for our Shavasana. And I brought the chimes in. So you can take any pose of your liking. You can put bolster under the knees. You can send legs up the wall. You can take them sort of back then like if they did. You can do Stonehenge like Morgan's doing. So I'm gonna put on the drone sound for this. So first thing I want you to do is get your body set up just right. Take a few deep breaths and let your exhalations melt you down into the ground. And for today's Shavasana, your technique will be just to open your ears and to listen. Not that. I'm gonna put it on airplane mode. Start. flow of our breath. Once you do, get awake movements in your body. Once you begin to create some movement, create a safe exit. Usually that's rolling away to one side. Coming up, taking form or sit. So we can conclude class. But since our practice is dedicated to the great mother we all share, I'd like you to find some way to touch the floor again with your palms. Doesn't have to be the way I'm doing it. And let's just chant Om once. Take a deep breath in. Om. Singing this, our praises and our gratitude down to our shared mother. Bringing your hands up, this gesture of grace and gratitude at the heart. May we all walk away from this practice being more free and at peace in our bodies, hearts, and minds. May we walk away feeling more comfortable and confident in our own skin. Light in me honors and respectfully bows to that beautiful light in each of you. So much for coming today. I know the other class suggested that theme of getting up and down, but it really is a thing that I've done before and something that never hurts to go over again. Because you never know, like if you're like carrying something heavy and your back gives out or something, you may need to remember these things. I do want to say last week, I had something incredible happen. Several people have been asking me since Allison and I went to Sedona in 2021 to do it again. And I asked Allison and she says, no, I want to go somewhere else. And we're planning one in France next year, Allison and I. But I did hear the student's request and I wanted to honor that. So I called Chrissy up. I'm like, Chrissy, I need a chef because I don't cook. And I said, will you do it with me? She said, yes, I'm free. I'll do it with you. It sold out within half a day. And I wasn't expecting that. This trip is different than the one we did last time because we were going to do more strenuous hikes and we were going to do a little hefty drive up to Antelope Canyon. But there were a couple people that wanted in that didn't get in. And I decided, okay, well, we're already there. Let's just back it up. So I designed a second one. Since it'll be 23rd through the 27th. It's going to be a more gentle hike, which is why I wanted to bring it up to you guys. It's not going to do strenuous hikes that the other one's doing. So it'll be more gentle hiking, and we're not going to do the extra hefty drive to Antelope Canyon. So that second retreat that's still open will be for anyone who wants to go to Sedona and just soak up Sedona and just wants to visit. We will visit all 4 of the vortexes. So you'll get all of that in. I feel more familiar with it since we just went in 2021, so I kind of know what I want to do and what I want to leave out. But if you're interested, let me know. I do have a king suite that's available for shared. So if you wanted to bring a girlfriend or you wanted to bring your partner, you guys should share that suite. And I think there's a private room with a queen bed after that. So we really only have room for 3 people. But I wanted you guys to know first.
What are the dates?
April 23rd through the 27th of 2024. So it'll be, yeah. And yeah, it's a fluke thing because I wanted the other one to be for Earth Day. And so that one was the 19th to the 23rd, and I'll be dropping people off at the airport in Phoenix on the 23rd, which means I can be there to pick people up to go back to Sedona. So 23rd through the 27th. It's $16.50 for shared. And it includes daily yoga, meditation, 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner. The excursions are free because we'll be packing. That's really all you need. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Thanks you guys for joining. I don't know if y'all wanted to see anybody here.
Thank you. Hi, Danny.
See anybody kind of going away. We didn't have as many today in the studio.
Hi, guys.
I'm shooting for Wednesday.